Welcome to the show, everyone. It's the Crypto Lark. Today, I got the chance to sit down with the team from EFFECT.AI to discuss their upcoming Neo-based ICO. Before we get into that, a quick shout out, as always, to everyone who's been hitting that like button, and of course, everyone who's been subscribing to the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you hit that button down below or the bell to stay up to date with all of the latest in the crypto space. Furthermore, this is, of course, not professional financial advice. This is just a dude talking about cryptocurrencies on the internet. This is an ICO. Please do your own due diligence before investing your own money, guys. There is always a certain amount of inherent risk involved. Unfortunately, this sale does exclude the citizens of the United States. Sorry, guys. And finally, this is not a sponsored review. This is just a project that I thought was interesting and you might want to know some more about. So let's get into it. Very excited to have with me today Chris Daw. He is the co-founder of EFFECT.AI. Welcome.
Hi, thank you very much, man. Very, very happy to be on the show.
Now, can you tell us the short version? What is EFFECT?
I don't know about a super short version, but I will do my best. So a little bit of a background about the team. We come from a digital agency that builds pretty complex technology. And over the years, we've also developed artificial intelligence for commercial use cases. And over the years, we've seen an exponential growth in the cost of development. So for us, we were backed by pretty large corporations like Shell and some banks, Heineken and other big, large corporations. But we felt that these prices have to come down if we're going to be able to open up the market to the masses and get it from behind closed doors. We also had a lot of interns coming into our office, and they would notify us that universities were actually shutting down some programs because of the costs of the development of AI. So one main platform that we use to gather our data sets for our artificial intelligence algorithms was Amazon Mechanical Turk. Mm-hmm. So at one point about 8 months ago, I just came to the team and I said, listen, you have Bitcoin, which is an exchange of value, internet money. You can take out the banks and exchange this pretty simply over the internet. What about with smart contracts and having AI developers and a workforce on demand, exactly like Amazon Mechanical Turk, taking out that corporation and those fees that they take? Is it possible? And it was minutes before they said, yes, that's exactly what blockchain technology is about. And that's the direction it should be going in. And so that's where it that's where this started. So we started with decentralized Mechanical Turk. We said, this is feasible, it's great. But as AI developers, we also knew one big problem with this, and we wanted a long-term project. Amazon Mechanical Turk, currently, a workforce on demand is calculating and doing tasks that computers and AI cannot currently do. But they're simple tasks that basically only humans can do. But within the next few years, AI will be able to do these tasks. So we said to ourselves, like, this is only a few-year project if we're going to release this only. And we said, what other problems are there in the AI industry? And then we said, well, one big one is that us as AI developers, when we had an algorithm that we thought was great for commercial use cases, we actually had to call up our clients and say, hi, Heineken or ING Direct, we have an incredible algorithm that we think that we can implement on your systems that is going to be fantastic. Do you mind if we come by and demo it for you? So it's like one customer a week that we're reaching. There was no marketplace for any kind of AI service. And this was a major problem for us as a small AI company. So we said, well, why not a decentralized marketplace where anybody can come, put their algorithms, put their AI services, trade, collaborate, and give out to the masses, you know? So we said, this is an incredible second phase to a decentralized Mechanical Turk. We aid the development of AI and algorithms, and then you have a marketplace to actually put that. So we said, that's fantastic. And we started to go to work on this. And then just through conversations and working on this platform, we figured that the computational power that it costs to run AI not only is ridiculously expensive right now because of how labor-intensive algorithms are and how they're becoming, but in the future, it's going to cost a ridiculous amount of money. So we said, why not pull, you know, a decentralized, distributed computational power source to run AI as a third and final step and phase in this kind of an idea. So that's how the Effect network was kind of born.
Cool. We're going to delve into some more of that in more detail here in a few minutes, but I guess the first question I want to come back to a little bit is, aren't you just helping the enemy here? Isn't the Skynet going to take over and we're all going to be enslaved by our robot overlords in a few years?
Yes, of course. We're trying to speed that up as fast as we can. No, on the contrary, we believe. I believe it's the contrary. So what we've noticed, and I think it's very evident to anybody that's in the industry, is that these large corporations have pushed this behind closed doors. They're not even collaborating with each other. We have some inside sources with all of the parties that we've been meeting over the months, and government, military, they're developing very fast some pretty scary stuff. And I think it's time, and it's a very important time in history, to bring this out into the open and show what decentralization can actually do. So imagine if Google and Amazon were collaborating with each other, how transparent it would be. They would know what each other's working on, but also it would be able to be developed a lot more quickly and a lot more friendly. So with our marketplace in phase 2, the Effect Smart Market, any AI developer can collaborate with other developers all of the time. And not only that, with every algorithm that's on the smart market, they'll have their own wallet address and their own identifier, and programmers can program what they want to do. So AI can actually collaborate with AI in this, and it'll grow exponentially, but be under the view of the masses instead of behind closed doors where we don't know what's happening. So we think it's very important, and I think we can actually stray away from that whole Skynet
apocalyptic future kind of vision.
Yeah. I don't know if it can be stopped, but we'll do our best.
No, I'm very excited about AI technology. I think it's going to move us to fantastic places. But it's like you said, if we leave it up to governments and militaries and private corporations to do all the development, the end user results probably aren't going to be the things that we want to see, or the potential that this amazing technology can offer moving forward. One more general question about AI before we dive into the meaty bits of the ICO here. What do you see as some of the biggest milestones moving forward for artificial intelligence? What are sort of the things that we need to be watching for?
Well, I mean, there are thousands of startups jumping up in the AI world right now because we know that it's going to be a major part of our lives moving forward. But it's really funny how AI has just snuck in to the masses. Most people don't even understand that they're using it. I do meetups and seminars all the time and conferences, and I ask people who uses artificial intelligence maybe on a monthly basis, and you see like half the hands go up. You know, I say, how about a weekly? A few hands go up. I say, how about daily? Not very many hands, but everybody's using AI every single day. You know, so it's really funny how it snuck in. And then if you're watching, it almost feels like it's catching up so quickly that we're not even calling the AI that exists today and the near future AI. We're talking about robotics and Skynet and all of this stuff, but you have autonomous vehicles, which will certainly save tons of lives and change the landscape of travel and all of these things. So there's all kinds of exciting things coming up. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, there's so much potential. It's hard to grasp it all when you start.
Oh man, every aspect of life. It's going to touch every aspect, and we know this. You know, so yeah.
Let's try and break down a little bit more what exactly Effect.AI is going to look like. So we have the Mechanical Turk, which is more of the person entering data and all these things. So that's the first iteration, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And so we move from there into the smart market. That's phase 2. Can you break that down a bit for us?
Yeah, so the smart market is just, obviously, we're software developers primarily, and we also do a lot of platform design. So it's just a marketplace where any AI developer, any small player in the AI industry, even large players, can put forth their AI algorithms, their AI services in one decentralized marketplace. Every service and every algorithm will have its own wallet address and identifier, so very easy to buy these licenses and purchase these things. A lot of times people don't realize how much they're paying for AI right now. It comes in Siri on your iPhone, you know? So you're paying for that when you buy an iPhone. Eventually, we will be buying these services from third parties all over the world and all of these small and mid-sized AI companies. So it's basically a marketplace where you can buy and sell your AI services.
I think there's a lot of great code being written out there and a lot of great data sets being developed, but they're not really reaching the market. And that's, I think, part of the problem that you're trying to solve here is that all these little islands of people out there developing stuff and they can't get it on a phone, they can't get it to Google or to Amazon or any of these big guys because they're just little guys. But in the marketplace, there's going to be a lot of power to leverage even small teams and small companies' ideas into something much bigger, which I think will help the whole space move forward, which is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. As I mentioned, it was a big problem for us. We've developed some first of a kind and one of a kind algorithms that we knew could be very, very popular, but we would set up our own websites for those specific services, and that was the best we could do. There's not even a centralized artificial intelligence marketplace. So we find that to be, a big problem, and we pose to solve that.
I like how there's not even a centralized one, and so we're just going to skip that. And that's actually really interesting because we see blockchain technology actually having this effect of just, well, why set up a centralized one? Let's just go decentralized straight away. Currently, of course, we do have SingularityNet already, which is kind of working on that. How would you contrast yourselves to SingularityNet?
Yeah, well, what I tell people is that if there is any decentralized or even centralized AI initiative that's a positive and has positive, honorable solutions, support them. It doesn't matter about our differences or how we're competing against each other. We have no problem collaborating with them or any other initiative going forward. And I think that they know how important this time in history is to take this away from the superpowers. You have Putin saying like the next superpower is the one that controls AI. And I think we are all in this battle to stop that kind of chit chat and decentralize and give it to the masses and make sure that we're all running it. So we're all a superpower working together. So SingularityNet, they're a fantastic project. And we hope to work together with those guys in the future, along with all the other initiatives. Yeah.
That's a great point of view. To be honest, it's such a big task, and I know there's a lot of people who are really maximalists in this space. Well, one's got to be better than the other, or all this stuff. Like, no, there's hundreds of companies are going to need to be doing this. That's such a huge potential, and I like what you said there. Humanity needs to be the superpower. We need to take control of this technology. We can't let big companies and big countries be the ones to do it because we know what the outcome for that will be, unfortunately.
Yes.
Now, the Effect Network, this is stage 3. What's that look like?
So the Effect Network is all 3 phases in one once it's completed. So that's the Effect Network. The third phase is called Effect Power, and it's simply distributing the computational power it's going to take to run AI. Right now, it's costing a lot of money. We can bring down those costs by 70 to 90% by just using up the computational power that people have existing, idle at their workspaces, or mining rigs and stuff like that. When those are obsolete, that we have so many sources of power to pull from. So we're going to create a pool, and we're not going to do it in a complex way. We have obviously Golem, the supercomputer. We have deep brain chain and stuff like that. Our third phase is a couple years away, and we'll be watching those guys very closely to kind of either collaborate or use some of the technology that they're developing to use that for the computational power to run very complex AI in the future.
Awesome. And what about data privacy? How are you approaching that?
Data privacy is going to be for the users to control back and forth. So we set up the platforms and we set up the smart contracts for these people to work via each other, but it's up to them to control that for themselves. We are not taking any of the data. It's not running through any of our platforms. It's running directly peer-to-peer between these parties.
Excellent. I think that helps solve a lot of the problems as far as, again, centralization, putting it all on a centralized server, waiting for it to get hacked, basically. You just set the clock when you put it in a centralized service, and just, when will the hack happen? It's coming. Now, what about bad actors within the marketplace? How do you prevent those? What are the mechanisms in place that you have to kind of try to mitigate the amount of bad actors that show up?
Yeah, for sure. So obviously in Amazon Mechanical Turk, they have protocols there, and we do as well. So we will be watching, and we will actually have an algorithm looking through and scouring the system while these tasks are being done. And that's going to be able to identify these people, but there will also be grand truths and all kinds of different things to watch. So if there are bad actors, they will lose what we call honor points. And so they will eventually be kicked out of the system. And people that are good actors and doing great jobs, they will gather some value as well and be well regarded and sought after by some of these AI developers. So there's a lot of technology in place there right now, and some is theory and some is already set. So we're working hard on making that happen.
Cool. And what about the token itself? What is the exact use of the Effect token in the ecosystem?
Yeah, so it's the definition of a utility token. You use it to get into the system. So just a little bit of the token metrics. We have 16% of the tokens that are going to be in a pool called the Galaxy pool. This serves for two purposes, but one of the two purposes is an incentive pool. So any AI developer out there that wants to use our Effect Mechanical Turk can contact us and we will give them free tokens. These tokens are non-tradable tokens. We call them Galaxy EFFECT. And then they'll be able to use those within the platform to pay the workers to create these data sets for them. It'll enter the system and come out as real EFFECTs on the other side. So it's a utility token, and it's just for workers to be able to cash out really quickly. Obviously, the power of cryptocurrency is it's instant. The second function of the Galaxy pool is obviously EFFECT is not going to be traded widely all over the world initially. So within our Galaxy pool, we will hold native tokens like Bitcoin, Neo, Gas, and other NEP5 tokens that workers will be able to use our system to cash out quickly, to be able to put on exchanges to actually cash out in their fiat currency if they wish to do so. So it's kind of a liquidity market. That Galaxy pool serves as two purposes.
Great. Why did you choose to build on Neo? Of all the blockchains out there, what brought you to Neo?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. So from our background and working with large corporations, we always have a 6 to 8 week research period. No matter what we're building, it can be the simplest thing that's been done 20 times before, or it can be the most complex, first of a kind technology, and we go through a research period. So we obviously went through all of the blockchain. We looked at building our own blockchain, cloning off Bitcoin, Litecoin, something like this, looked at BitShares, met with the founder of Lisk, Max, and talked to him about his platform and what that could do. Looked at EOS, which wasn't fully developed yet and still is not. And then we came down to a final two. We looked at Ethereum and we looked at Neo. We looked at where they currently were, and if we had to launch this platform at this very moment, which one would be the one? And Neo was clearly the choice. So transactions per second, at the time of choosing, they were up around 1,000 is what they claimed to be at. And Ethereum was at about 25. We said, listen, we're sure everybody's going to scale, but currently right now, Neo's ahead of the game. Mm-hmm. We actually sent Neo our white paper, and they asked for a meeting. So we flew out to Shanghai, met with them, and they were talking about how they're going to be able to get up to 10,000 transactions per second pretty soon. So that was very exciting for us. With that meeting, the support that we got, the feeling that we got was fantastic. The second thing was with Ethereum, you have to know about cryptocurrency and hold more than one token to be able to transact on the Ethereum network. You need to hold Ethereum to gas transactions with an ERC20 token. With Neo, this isn't the case, and this was really interesting for us because we are not a blockchain company. We're a platform development company that's helping aid in the development of AI, and we use blockchain as a solution. So we're only using blockchain to solve a big problem. So we looked at this and we said, they can use our token and only our token. There's no transaction fees, so they don't have to buy Neo, they don't have to buy gas, and they can use our system without any transaction fees and without knowing what cryptocurrency is. So we thought for mass adoption, which that's what we want, this would be a fantastic thing for our platform to use. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And there's tons of other reasons for Neo. There's tons, and there's lots for Ethereum as well. There's tons for EOS coming up. There's tons for all of these blockchains. But we just had a great feeling about their community. We had a great feeling about the core members that we met. They've been out to Amsterdam here. They've met with us at the office. The support is ongoing. We talk to them often. Yeah.
I think it says a lot that they said, "Hey, come out to Shanghai, meet with us. Let's talk about your project. We're enthusiastic about what you're doing, and we want to help you." I think
Isn't
that's
it incredible?
Cool.
It's phenomenal. And it wasn't. It was a friendly, fun, great meeting, but they also had developer after developer come in and grill us about the technology and the white paper, and we were able to answer their questions, which surprised them, I think. Which really started this relationship on a good foot. So yeah, we're very excited.
I like it. They're testing you. Call on another random developer to ask more questions.
Oh man, they would come in and they would just start yelling in Chinese and then leave the room, and then it was translated. Like what about bots working on your Mechanical Turk, and have answers to it, and we passed the test.
Awesome.
We also had a lot of questions for them as well that they passed as well, so it was mutual.
Very cool. Sounds like a great exchange. Now, what about the roadmap? What can we look forward to in the coming year? How long until we see the full iteration of your product?
Okay, so we're currently developing. Like I said, we're not a blockchain company, and we're certainly not an ICO marketing company. A lot of the growth and the hype behind EFFECT.AI has happened organically, and it's amazing to us, and it's surprising to us, and it's absolutely fantastic. But a couple weeks into doing the token sale marketing, the development team said, we've had enough already. We're developers and we want to develop the product, and that's all we want to do. So we hired a couple other people on for the token sale marketing, and the programmers just got to work. So we're far ahead of where we thought we might be, but we are not reinventing the wheel. And we're not hiding away from letting everybody know that Amazon Mechanical Turk, we're basing all of our first phase off of Mechanical Turk. We've even stolen the name. They have a trademark, and we've stolen it, and they're welcome to come try to battle for it. But so we're not reinventing the wheel. What we're going to do, obviously, Amazon has a horrible interface, so we should be able to beat them there. And then we'd have to build in blockchain technology on the back end and get this working that way. The prototype of Effect Mechanical Turk should be out within the next few weeks for people to use without blockchain technology in the background there. But at the end of the second quarter, maybe August, July, August, we should have a full running beta on the Neo blockchain. So we're coming along very fast. Obviously, one of our advisors is Charlie Shrem, and we did a live call with him just a few days ago. He's been a lot of help over the last little while. We didn't release any of these advisors because we just didn't want to play this game of smoke and mirrors, and we have advisors and we have partners and all of this stuff. We had these guys already for quite some time, but we recently released it and then did a demo for him for our MVP for our Effect Mechanical Turk. So if people want to check that out, it's out there in the public, and you can see kind of how it works and what it's going to look like.
That's cool. I think it's really, I was going to be asking about the advisors and things next, and I think it's really cool that Charlie's on board. Obviously, he's a big name, and it may seem kind of silly sometimes, but people definitely always are kind of out there looking for that. They want to see, okay, who are your partners? What big advisors have you been able to attract? And so to see Charlie Shrem on there, I think that's pretty cool. He's been a really big name in the space for a long time. So are there any other advisors you'd want to mention?
Yeah, so we have Sally Eves, who has come on board. She reached out. Same with Charlie Shrem. He reached out. There's been a lot of people reaching out to us. And like I said, we're not a token sale marketing company. We found a lot of ugly things within this space over the last few weeks that's really concerning to us, and we didn't want to play the games of smoke and mirrors. We're in the know that majority of these projects with these advisors, they're just paying them tons of money, putting their face on the website, and people go, whoa, that's a higher rating on our ICO rating site, you know? But they're not actually doing anything. So with people that were coming forward and the advisors that we have right now, which is several, they actually bring massive value to our project. We're on the phone with them every single week, some of them 3 or 4 times a day, and they're actually going to help build this network out and build this out. It's the same with our partnerships. We have several partnerships. We're not releasing them now because we don't want to play the game. We don't want people, I don't want people to look at it and say, oh yeah, sure, you know, they've paid these guys to be, on their website and list their names and stuff like that. We have some people in place. We have tons of advisors that we will announce coming up when we wish to do so. But they're actively involved in the development of this. And if we never release them, because there's a couple we won't, maybe in the future, we'll release them, but way in the future, and people will say, whoa, wait a minute, those people were working with you. But it's about building this platform, and that's the only thing that we truly care about, is building this platform out. So yeah, Charlie Shrem is great, and he's a fantastic guy. He's had a dream of building a decentralized mechanical Turk for years, so he reached out to us. So it was really funny because he was telling me that he had website domain names with Mechanical Turk in it from years ago, and how, you know, maybe we could use these in the future. So it was really funny. And what he brings to the game is a heck of a lot more than marketing, a heck of a lot more than just his name, but an absolute phenomenal guy with a lot of help and a lot of resources in this field, in this exact field. He knows how it works. And we're brainstorming with him to bring this to the masses as quick as possible. So yeah, he's fantastic. Sally Eves, she's an absolute legend. She was speaking at all the events that we were going to, and really eye-opening comments and background. And so she reached out to us, and we were honored and very surprised. And through talking to her, we said she's our connection to the Indian workforce in India, and can help us just expand worldwide again. So yeah, and then we have some tricks up our sleeve that we'll be releasing pretty soon. It should surprise some people, but there's a big ethics thing here, and it's not ethics in AI. So ethics in AI is a big deal, and this individual will be helping with some of those tasks. But one big surprising thing that I think everybody should know about Amazon is that Amazon is fully aware that there are massive, massive warehouses of children working on their Amazon Mechanical Turk, and they have nothing in place to protect those children. So this is a big, big part of this platform for us. We were not aware of this until we took this journey. So we will have an ethics advisor on board to help us with that, and we will be on the ground in these locations, third world countries, where some of these people will be working, and make sure that the conditions are proper and correct for these people. Wow,
I didn't know about that either, but I'm not surprised, and I think this is
of course
something
they're
that the no transparency, right? But this is you're bringing your business using blockchain, and that can help bring so much transparency, which is fantastic. And if you're going into it with the mindset, we're trying to be open, we're trying to be as ethical as possible in the process here, I think you're going to move in a good place. And companies like yours have so much potential moving forward, because the dirty laundry will get out about what these other companies have done and have been doing and continue to do. And so anyway, your social...
I'll be at the forefront of letting people know exactly what these guys are up to, because there's a lot of stuff people don't know, because we're finding out a lot of stuff about Amazon and these other big corporations, and how it's really just about money, and it's just about numbers. And it makes us a little bit sick, and it motivates the hell out of us to wake up in the morning to fight this battle. So you can tell Jeff Bezos and all his little minions that we're coming.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. Now, your social media presence has been really strong. I've really liked what you've been doing. The interviews with you, is it Paulina?
Yeah, Paulina. Yeah.
And that's been great. You know, you guys are doing these constant videos like every other day or something like that, and your social media presence is really strong, and I think that's really great. What are your further marketing plans moving forward?
Yeah, we obviously, with the token sale and hopefully raising some money during that token sale, we do have business advisors. We have an excellent COO, so we will be opening up departments and hiring in a massive way. We're not using this money for salaries. In fact, that we've been working with the government here in the Netherlands. We've been working with the AFM, and we want to do this properly and correctly. So we want to disclose absolutely everything, just like a publicly traded company does. I don't know why crypto projects don't do this. It's kind of ruining the space a little bit. I've asked some of the CEOs and founding members what their salaries are and what they pay themselves, and they don't say. So we want to disclose everything and let everybody know, that we're not in this for the money. We're in this to expand the technology, and all of this stuff. So marketing going forward will be a full department just like any other company, and we will be very aggressive in our marketing to get this worldwide reach. We really feel that time is of the essence with this technology and with AI and bringing it to the forefront of humanity. Yeah, so we will be working extremely hard moving forward with every breath that we have.
Very cool. And now finally, I want to get in a little bit to the details of the token sales. So you guys are raising approximately 15 million euros, and one EFX is going for a little under 6 euro cents. Is that right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, great. 40% of the tokens are going to be sold during the sale. What's the allocation for the other 60% of the tokens?
So we have 15% for the founding members. Those will be locked for 2 years to kind of show our dedication, and I suppose I suppose we're kind of interested in them, but I think we'll be working on this for the next 10 years. So regardless of that, we have 7% for advisors and partnerships, which are almost fully intact. A lot of the advisors coming on board are not asking for much. We have one blanket policy for them all, and we offer them that, and if they want to come on board, but they seem to be more than happy to do that. So we have 7% there. We have 16% for the Galaxy pool, which I mentioned, which is obviously our liquidity pool and our incentive pool combined. So that's kind of us printing the money and being able to give that money out for free to the people that are going to use the platform. So, and then we have 20% that's for future funding. That's locked away for 18 months. There are predetermined milestones that we have to hit to unlock those. But I think those are basically going to be there for incentives and really just to fund this going forward. So the bigger and larger we get, if we can hit the milestones that we need to in the next 18 months, we are going to need a little bit more funding to really launch this and get this fully operational before we can step away and let the world run it. So that's there for those purposes. So that's the rest of it.
Awesome. I'm going to have a link down below to the website, but if anybody wants to learn some more information about EFFECT.AI, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Yeah, well, they can join our Telegram. I don't know how it's grown so much because not many of us were familiar with Telegram, but we opened up a group and it's grown to about 25,000 now. I now know how to use it, which is fantastic, and I'm always on it. So I live within Telegram, so you can reach out to me personally on Telegram. I'm there all the time. You can visit our website at EFFECT.AI. That's a good place. And hello@EFFECT.AI if you have any questions or comments or want to contact us directly.
Awesome. Awesome. Chris, thanks so much for taking the time to sit down with us and talk us through what you guys are doing over at EFFECT.AI and telling us about some of the AI industry and some of the crazy stuff that's going on there. It's been a really interesting interview. So thank you so much for taking your time.
Yeah, listen, my pleasure, man. It's been absolutely an honor to speak with you, man. I've been a big fan for a long time, so thank you very much for having me on.
Thank you.